The Week 17 NFL schedule for the 2025 season continues with some exciting matchups after an eventful Christmas Day slate of games. Tomorrow, the Houston Texans and Los Angeles Chargers will face off in a rematch of last year's wild card game. On Sunday, the Seattle Seahawks will battle the Carolina Panthers, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will head down to Miami for an interstate matchup against the Dolphins. Then two teams in the mix for the NFC's number one seed, the Chicago Bears and San Francisco 49ers, will face each other on Sunday Night Football. Let's get into the full Week 17 slate, which culminates with the final pure Monday Night Football game matchup this season between the Los Angeles Rams and the Atlanta Falcons. For this is TXN Sports World NFL Friday. Hey there, welcome everybody to the Week 17 edition of TXN Sports World NFL Friday. I am your host, Anthony Florio, joined, as always, by good old MF Michael Fletcher and Michael Bullock. We apologize for not having a show on Tuesday night. Very busy week for all of us, with work commitments, family commitments, and the holidays and the whole 9 yards. But we're back here tonight. And we hope all of you had a wonderful Christmas with your families. And now let's get into the Week 17 edition of TXN Sports World NFL Friday. And we're going to start it off, of course. Now, as we all know, Week 17 kicked off yesterday, Christmas, with 3 games on the docket. It started with the Dallas Cowboys defeating the Washington Commanders by a final score of 30-23. In the second game, we saw the Minnesota Vikings not only defeat the Detroit Lions 23-10, but eliminate the Detroit Lions from postseason contention. And in the final game of the day and night, the Denver Broncos defeating the Kansas City Chiefs 20-13. To sum it all up, in short, Cowboys winning over the Commanders, no surprise there. Had a feeling that Dallas would win that one. Minnesota sweeping the season series from Detroit. And it's because of this, the Detroit Lions eliminated from playoff contention. You will not see the Detroit Lions in the postseason this year. What a shame. What a shame when it comes to Detroit. Outside of the Washington Commanders, I consider the Detroit Lions the biggest disappointment in the NFC. All that talent and a team that, had the greatest season, the most magical season in history, going 15-2 and being the number one seed in the NFC. Everybody thought the stars were aligned for the Lions to finally break through and go to the Super Bowl.
And let's not forget, Florio, they lost some key guys. During the offseason,
including Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn.
Yeah. So that and probably some injuries to key players really hurt the Lions.
They did.
And think about this too. Last year, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Detroit Lions,
the two best teams.
They were the two best teams.
The two number one seeds.
Yeah, they were both number one seeds in their respective conferences. Now here we are a year later. They're not even going to make the playoffs.
Both of them are out.
That just shows you how much of a topsy-turvy season this has been.
Yes.
Indeed. The teams that are like the most powerful has taken a step back.
The mighty have fallen.
And teams that we didn't think or we remotely kind of dismissed during our little preview have really stepped up, and we'll get into that a little bit later on. But especially certain teams that we thought that were shoo-ins for the postseason are not. And like I said, it gets very interesting from here on in. So, yeah.
Boy, does it. So, yeah, Detroit, they will not be postseason bound. And the Minnesota Vikings making a late season surge. Maybe they could be a team to watch for next season. Who knows? And then the Denver Broncos, they control their own destiny when it comes to the number one seed in the AFC. All they have to do now is hope for either somehow, some way, Bullock's Patriots to, God forbid, lose to the Jets on Sunday, or they earn it themselves and defeat the Los Angeles Chargers in what very likely, MF, could be our game of the week next week. Very realistic possibility. That's our game next week. So, but yeah, crazy, an eventful day of Christmas action in the NFL. And gentlemen, that leads us to tomorrow. And we already, gave our 2 cents about everything. So let's not waste too much more time. Let's dive on into the remaining games of week number 17, and it starts tomorrow afternoon at 4:30 on the NFL Network. And MF, what is going to be our game of the week? The Houston Texans squaring off against the Los Angeles Chargers, SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. And it'll be Rich Eisen, Kurt Warner, Jamie Erdahl, and Megan O'Leary. They will be on the call for that one. Los Angeles opening up as a 1.5-point favorite. And the series history when it comes to the Texans and the Chargers, who met in last season's playoff, by the way. It was the series history favors the Los Angeles Chargers regular season-wise 6-3. Last year, of course, the last meeting was the wild card game last year. Houston dominating the Chargers 32-12. They've only met in Los Angeles once, and that was in 2019, and the Houston Texans won that one 27-20. Chargers last beat the Texans in 2022, 34-24 in Houston. Their last home win against Houston was when they were the San Diego Chargers in 2007, 35-10. So without any further ado, guys, here we go. What a way to start it off. The last time Houston played the Chargers, it sacked and intercepted quarterback Justin Herbert 4 times. Listen to that. 4 sacks and 4 interceptions in the wild card game last year. The 2025 Texans defense is even better than last year's version, so we'll see how this plays out. Coach D'Amico Ryans called Justin Herbert one of the toughest quarterbacks in our league. We'll see how tough he can be when the NFL's #1 defense rolls into Los Angeles. Justin Herbert is coming off perhaps his best game of the season in a win over the Dallas Cowboys, which he will look to replicate against Houston. Coach Jim Harbaugh said as far as quarterback performances go, that was a Picasso. That's what he said of Herbert's 3-touchdown, 300-yard passing game at Dallas. The Texans and Chargers rank 1st and 3rd in the league, respectively, in total defense this season. Houston, 272 yards allowed a game. The Chargers, 283 yards allowed a game. And there's a lot at stake here. The Texans can clinch a playoff spot with a win or a Colts loss to Jacksonville on Sunday. And there was also a bizarre scenario. It's not really bizarre anymore because Kansas City was a part of that, but they lost. So there was a scenario where they would get in if Kansas City, Baltimore, Tampa Bay, Buffalo, the Rams, and San Francisco all won this week. Well, that can't happen because Kansas City lost to Denver last night. The Chargers, however, they're already in. They clinched the playoff spot with the Indianapolis Colts loss to the 49ers last Monday night. Close FPI here. They give a slight FPI to the Chargers. They give it 52% in favor of Los Angeles. And I'm going to take a chance, and I'm going to go with the Los Angeles Chargers to win this one, mainly because the game is in Los Angeles. If this game was in Houston, it's Texans all day. But I got to go with the Chargers here. I'm going to go 23-20. I'm going to say the Chargers win this one. And I would not be surprised if Houston and that defense go into SoFi and steal one there. I wouldn't. So, and these are 2 teams that could be very sneaky come playoff time. So there is not much more to say here. So MF, the Phil Simms to my Jim Nance, our game of the week. We're starting it off for the 2nd week in a row. It's Houston. It's the Chargers in SoFi. Do that thing I like. Hello, friends.
Yeah, it's going to be a good game, no doubt about it. Both teams looking for playoff opportunities. The Chargers already got in. Houston, with the win, definitely puts them very, very close to getting it, but we'll see how it plays out. But I'm with you. I'm going with LA to win this game. I think it's going to be a close one. I really got nothing more to say. You kind of threw some of it, but we'll go from there. So, Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Chargers, and like you said, if this game was in Houston, I would go with the Texans, but this is in LA, and I'll tell you what, I mean, when it comes to the Texans, I'm gonna say this right now, boys. I don't think this is a team you do not want to face if they make the playoffs. So if you're those other AFC teams right now, this this is a team that you don't want to either make the playoffs or that you don't want to face, because that defense is really good. And Florio, you know it. You found out the hard way with your Buffalo Bills.
Oh, don't remind me.
I know. I'm just bringing up facts.
Josh Allen getting sacked 8 times. Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't gotten over that nightmare.
Yeah, that just shows you how good that defense of theirs is really. It's really good. And if any team, and I'll say this right now, because I mean, if the matchups are what they are, the Patriots would be facing the Texans, and
Good luck.
yeah, that could be the case. But if that's the playoff matchup, but let's not forget this game is in Foxborough, and let's not forget the history with these two in the playoffs. So
Patriots have owned them.
they've owned them. So we'll see what happens. If I know we still got this and we got Week 18, but
Right.
this is a team you do not want to face come playoff time. But right now, I'm going to go with the Chargers. So let's move on, Florio.
And we move on to the other half of the Saturday doubleheader tomorrow. Our number 3 game of the week, and this one can be found exclusively on Peacock. It will be the Baltimore Ravens squaring off against the Green Bay Packers from not quite the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. I did a little look at the weather forecast. Believe it or not, it's going to be in like the it's going to be above freezing, which is hard to believe. It's going to be colder here than it is in Green Bay. That's craziness. I mean, it feels like Green Bay here right now. But nonetheless, now I did forget to mention, for those of you who may not have the NFL Network, for the people of Houston and Los Angeles, you can watch the Texan Charger game on your respective CBS affiliates. KHOU CBS 11 in Houston and KCBS CBS 2 in Los Angeles. For the people of Baltimore and Green Bay who may not have Peacock, only for Baltimore and Green Bay. For Baltimore, you can watch it on your NBC affiliate, WBAL NBC Channel 11 in Baltimore. For Green Bay, you have not one, but 2 NBC affiliates. WGBA NBC 26 in Green Bay and WTMJ NBC 4 in Milwaukee, Algonquin for the good land, of course. So that's how you can watch it tomorrow. Baltimore Ravens, Green Bay Packers, Lambeau Field, Peacock. Noah Eagle, Todd Blackledge, and Catherine Tappan will have the call. Green Bay opening up as a 3-point favorite. Series history, it favors Green Bay 5-2. Last meeting 2021 in Baltimore, Green Bay winning 31-30. Last meeting at Lambeau was 2017, and Baltimore shut out Green Bay 23-0 in that game. The Packers last beat the Ravens at home in 2009. That was a 27-14 final. So not much more to say. MF, it's Baltimore and Green Bay, our number 3 game of the week at Lambeau. And for Green Bay, no Jordan Love. He is out. It's up to Malik Willis. And as for Baltimore, I don't know if it's going to be Snoop Tyler Huntley.
It is Tyler Huntley. Lamar Jackson is officially out due to the back.
All right. So it's going to be up to the backups. Ravens, literally a must win, because if they lose this game, their playoff hopes are done. Green Bay, well, they're already in thanks to Detroit losing. So something's got to give here.
Something definitely's got to give, but I got to go with Green Bay because of the fact that I think Baltimore blew it against New England. Let's be realistic, guys. Baltimore had everything going their way, and then another fumble by Derrick Henry that is very Derrick Henry-like, and then you had Lamar going out with the back injury, and yeah, it's bad. It does not look good right now in Baltimore, and there's more drama in Baltimore than what meets the eye. I don't know if you guys have been hearing about the rumors going around about what's going on with what's going on with the Ravens and Lamar Jackson. So that's hanging over their heads. Nope. I already know how that plays. Green Bay wins at Lambeau tomorrow night. So Michael Bullock, it is yours.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, it's the battle of the backups, but I got to go with the Green Bay in this one because, like you said, Baltimore blew it. I mean, against the Patriots. I mean, the thing is, there's just so much. I mean, going back to last week with Baltimore, Derrick Henry scored a touchdown that put him up 11, and then what happened afterwards, guys? Derrick Henry did not see the field again for the rest of the game. Why? I do not understand. I mean, he's the one that's been carrying your team throughout that game. And for some reason, he doesn't see the field. I don't know about you guys, but something stinks, and I don't like it one damn bit. There's something going on with Baltimore that really meets the eye, and I would love to be a fly in the wall to find out what's going on. But I'll even go a step further, guys. If they don't make the playoffs, I think John Harbaugh's done. I mean, but we'll see. But either way, I'm going with the.
Wait, are you meaning being fired, or are you thinking like him retiring?
Like fired.
What do you mean?
Fired.
I disagree. I don't think so.
Well,
I don't think
the thing is, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes with everything that's going on with the coaching decisions from, especially with what happened with Derrick Henry. I don't know if Harbaugh. I really don't know. Something stinks, and I don't like it one damn bit. We need to know what. Like I said, I would love to be a fly on the wall to find out what's going on behind the scenes. So, but with all this drama, I gotta go with Green Bay to win this one. So it's yours, Florio.
Interesting development there, but Ravens running back Derrick Henry needs 64 rushing yards to pass Tony Dorsett and crack the top 10 on the NFL's career rushing list. The Ravens, who need a win to avoid being eliminated from playoff contention, are 17-8 when Henry rushes for 65 or more yards. The Packers are the league's 10th best run defense, allowing about 104 yards a game. In 2 games at Lambeau Field, Henry has totaled 185 rushing yards. With quarterbacks Jordan Love with a concussion and Malik Willis with a shoulder suffering injuries last Saturday at Chicago, it's worth wondering who the emergency quarterback would have been, or might be if necessary, tomorrow. The team's only other quarterback, Clayton Tune, is on the practice squad and would not have been eligible to play at Chicago. Perhaps the Packers will activate Tune, but Coach Matt LaFleur revealed this week that their top 2 emergency options are running back Josh Jacobs and wide receiver Jaden Reed. That's how bad it is in Green Bay, but they did confirm it will be Malik Willis starting tomorrow night. Derrick Henry logged his 40th career game with at least 100 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown against New England, 6th most in NFL history. With another such game, Henry would tie Hall of Famer Jim Brown for number 5. The Packers clinched a playoff berth with the Lions' loss to Minnesota yesterday. The Ravens would be eliminated from playoff contention with either a loss to Green Bay tomorrow or a Pittsburgh win at Cleveland on Sunday. We got a close FPI here. We got a damn near pick 'em here. The FPI actually gives this to Baltimore, but it's only 50.2%. That's it, 50.2%. But I got to go with Green Bay as well. I'm going to go 23-17. Green Bay defeats Baltimore and eliminates Baltimore from playoff contention. Oh my God, we're in bizarro world here, guys. No Kansas City, no Detroit, and now possibly no Baltimore in the playoffs. That is scary, but it is what it is. So with that being said, we move on now to the Sunday portion of week number 17. And we started off with our number 2 game of the week on our side of the ledger. The Seattle Seahawks squaring off against the Carolina Panthers, Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. Iron Eagle, J.J. Watt, and Evan Washburn on the call. Seattle opening up as a 7-point favorite. Seattle leads the regular season series 9-4. Last meeting was 2023 in Seattle. Seattle winning 37-27. Last meeting in Charlotte, 2019. Seattle won that 30-24. Panthers last beat Seattle at home in a playoff game. That was the divisional playoff, January of 2016. Carolina winning that one 31-24. Their last regular season home win against Seattle, got to go back to 2007, 13-10. So, not much more to say. Michael Bullock, come on in. You'll be leading off on this one. We kick off the Sunday slate, the early window, 7 early games at 1 o'clock. This is the first of them. Our number 2 game of the week. Seattle, pretty much, they control their own destiny when it comes to to not only the NFC West, but also the number 1 seed in the NFC. Whereas Carolina, they pretty much control their own destiny to the NFC South.
Yeah, this is a big one. I mean, both teams, like you said, they control their destiny when it comes to their division, but Seattle, they also control their destiny when it comes to the top seed when it comes to the NFC. So a lot at stake in this game. So, but I gotta go with the Seattle Seahawks. I mean, I just think they're the better team, but this Panther team, they better be careful because they could be sneaky here and they can catch Seattle off guard when they least expect it. So, but I'm gonna go with Seattle, but I don't know, Florio. There's something about this Panthers team that makes me feel like they could sneak up on Seattle and steal this one.
Certainly they can. Seattle is fortunate. The NFL did not move this game to Saturday because it needs all the rest it can get after the overtime thriller that MF and I had last Thursday night against the Rams. Listen to this, guys. Seattle's defense was on the field for 88 official plays against the Rams, meaning Coach Mike McDonald's unit essentially played an extra half of a game on a short week. The Seahawks win gave them the inside track at the NFC West division and the NFC's number 1 seed. But if Seattle doesn't win Sunday, it might, keyword might, have to head back to Charlotte in the wild card round. Hope, belief. That's what Panthers coach Dave Canella said the Panthers got from last Sunday's win over Tampa Bay to stay viable in the NFC South race. That's what will fuel them against Seattle. But don't expect the Panthers to be watching the scoreboard for the Bucs matchup against the Dolphins. Canella simply said, we can't afford to do that. In their win against the Rams, the Seahawks had the largest fourth quarter comeback by any team versus an opponent 8 games over 500 since the 1970 merger. A lot at stake for both sides. The Panthers can clinch a playoff berth with a win and a Tampa Bay loss at Miami on Sunday. The Seahawks clinched a playoff berth in Week 16 and can clinch the NFC West with a win and losses from both San Francisco and the LA Rams. The FPI, I got to be honest, it's a little bit high, but they're giving it to Seattle. 68% going with Seattle. I think that's a little too steep. I mean, I'm not surprised they're the favorite, but I think it should be a little bit lower than that. But nonetheless, I'm going with the Seattle Seahawks to win this game. 27-20. I'm going with Seattle to defeat Carolina. But like Bullock said, I would not at all be surprised if Carolina, they found a way against Tampa last week at home. Can they do it again against Seattle and really put the NFC playoff picture in a real topsy-turvy when it comes to that number one seed? Seattle's got the inside track. They win. Well, they pretty much control their own destiny. Carolina wins. Then that number one seed is going to be literally up for grabs in week 18 next week. So I got Seattle for now, 27-20. But I would not at all be surprised if Carolina somehow finds a way. So not much more to add. MF, we saw it last week. Seattle and the Rams. Oh, my goodness. I mean, that ranks right up there. That could be our game of the year. Right up there with the Baltimore Buffalo game we did in week 1. But that was wow. I don't know what else there is to say on that. I mean, it looked like LA was going to run away with it, but Seattle came all the way back and won it, as we saw it last Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
Carolina, the big win over Tampa at home. They get them again next week in Tampa. South could still be on the line. We don't know, but nonetheless, MF, Seattle, Carolina, you heard it all. Our number 2 game of the week. What do you make of all this?
Yeah, no, this is wild, man. Am I shocked that they're gonna do this? No, I think it's gonna be a hell of a game, no doubt about it. I think it's gonna be crazy. I understand why a lot of people are thinking Seattle's gonna win it. Very good defense, probably better than the experts have it, and a lot of other things. But at the end of the day, I think I understand why Seattle's the big favorite going in. And I think the job is truly that. I think Seattle is going to win the game. So yeah, I'm totally with you on this one. So nothing more to say. And Michael Bullock, it's yours. Oh, actually, Bullock led off. So it's back to you, Anthony.
Yes, it is. All right. So with that, move on to our next matchup, which is our number 5 game of the week on our side of the ledger. It's going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers squaring off. Actually, no, I apologize. Little out of order here, but I corrected myself. All right. We're actually going to go to the other side of the ledger for this next matchup, as it will be the Arizona Cardinals squaring off against the Cincinnati Bengals from Paycor Stadium, formerly Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. This game is on Fox. It'll be Kevin Kugler, Daryl Moose Johnston, and Allison Williams. And spread favors Cincinnati. Cincinnati opening up as a 7-point favorite. And Cincinnati leads the regular season series, but it's only 7-6. Last meeting was 2 years ago in Arizona. Cincinnati winning 34-20. Last meeting in Cincinnati, 2019. Arizona winning 26-23. Bengals last beat the Cardinals at home in 2011, right around this time, right around Christmas time in 2000. It was Christmas Eve 2011, as a matter of fact. Christmas Eve 2011, Cincinnati defeated Arizona 23-16. So Arizona and Cincinnati next up, and let's dive on in. Though Cardinals wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. said last week that he'll probably play injured the rest of the season, Coach Jonathan Gannon said Harrison's reps could increase in Cincinnati. Arizona will take his heel injury day to day before deciding what kind of pitch count he'll be on, just as he was last week. But the Cardinals have to balance the value he brings on the field at less than 100% healthy against him not being on the field at all. Gannon said if we thought that we were endangering him, we wouldn't put him out there. All eyes for the Bengals will be centered on Cardinals tight end Trey McBride. He is third in catches with 109 and sixth in receiving yards at 1,098. Far and away the most by a tight end this season in either category. Cincinnati is the most favorable matchup in the league in 2 key categories. Most receiving yards allowed, 1,362, and touchdowns, 15, surrendered to opposing tight ends in 2025. Bengals wide receiver Jamar Chase has had at least 90 receiving yards in all 6 home games this season and reached 100 in 5 of those, including 91 yards on 12 catches in a Week 8 loss. Both teams have been eliminated from playoff contention, but the Arizona Cardinals have officially locked up a top 10 draft selection. A high FPI here in favor of Cincinnati, 65% going with the Bengals. I'm going with the Bengals as well. I think this could be a high-scoring game here. I'm going to go 31-24, but I'm going to go with Cincinnati to defeat Arizona. So not much more to add. MF, Arizona and Cincinnati, your thoughts?
Yeah, safe bet. I'll go with Cincinnati as well. I think it was one of those. It was kind of a at the end of the day, it was really good. Yeah, there was it. I think the Cincinnati Bengals are going to win the game, and I think they're going to definitely win it. No doubt about it. Look, Cincinnati played amazing against Miami last week, and they absolutely did what they had to do. So, yeah, there's nothing more to say. Give me Cincinnati to win it, and Bullock is yours.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals as well. I think, yeah, it's going to be high scoring, but at the end, I just think Cincinnati will have no problems here with Arizona. So give me the Bengals. Let's move on.
And now we move on to our number 5 game of the week on our side of the ledger. The Pittsburgh Steelers squaring off against the Cleveland Browns, Huntington Bank Stadium, the Dog Pound in Cleveland. And believe it or not, hello, friends, Jim Nantz, Tony Romo, and Tracy Wolfson are going to be working this game. Pittsburgh opening up as a 3-point favorite. Second meeting already, of course. They met back on October the 12th in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh winning that game 23-9. So Pittsburgh adds to its overwhelming series lead against Cleveland. It's now 81-63 with a tie. And believe it or not, Cleveland has actually won the last 3 meetings in a row at home. They won the last 3 meetings in Cleveland, including 24-19 last year. Pittsburgh has not won in Cleveland since 2021. Final there was 15-10. MF, we started with you here. Our number 5 game of the week. It's Pittsburgh and Cleveland. Pittsburgh, they are literally in the driver's seat. They win, the North is theirs.
Yes, indeed. And I think it's going to be, I think it's definitely their time. It's going to be their moment. So give me the Pittsburgh Steelers to win the AFC North and win the division. I think they'll get the job done. So yeah, Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Pittsburgh Steelers to win this one, and obviously win the AFC North. So nothing more for me to say. So it's yours, Florio.
Yeah. Just bear with me for a moment here. Okay. Steelers coach Mike Tomlin laughed when asked whether 4th-string left tackle Dylan Cook will get help blocking Browns pass rusher Myles Garrett, who's on the cusp of breaking the NFL sack record. He said everybody gets help against Myles Garrett. I just finished watching the San Francisco tape. Trent Williams got help. It hasn't slowed down the train. He still has got 22 sacks. We better put schematics around Cook. He better play well, and we better stay out of one-dimensional passing circumstances, and you still might not stop the bomb from going off. The Steelers have had trouble stopping Garrett in Cleveland recently, as he has recorded 5 sacks in Pittsburgh's last 2 trips to the Dog Pound. Browns quarterback Shedeur Sanders will make his first start against the Steelers in the Browns home finale. He could join Brandon Weeden and Dorian Thompson-Robinson as the only Browns rookie quarterbacks to beat a Mike Tomlin-led Steelers team. Coach Kevin Stefanski said, obviously, Shedeur did not play in the first Pittsburgh game, so first time versus that group. So you really have to spend a lot of time this week getting to know this defensive front, their coverages, those types of things. Of course, as we all know, Myles Garrett, 1 sack shy of passing TJ Watt in 2021 and Michael Strahan in 2001 for the most by any player in a single season since sacks became official in 1982. And what is at stake? Well, you already know what's at stake. The Pittsburgh Steelers can clinch a playoff spot and the AFC North with either a win against Cleveland or a Baltimore Ravens loss at Green Bay tomorrow night. Overwhelming FPI for the Pittsburgh Steelers. 74% going with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going with the Pittsburgh Steelers to win this one. Might be on the closer side because as a Buffalo Bills fan, I can tell you firsthand that I can tell you firsthand how scrappy those Cleveland Browns are. They are very, very scrappy. And I think it's going to be another close game, but I think Pittsburgh's going to pull it out here. I'm going to go 20-13. Pittsburgh defeats Cleveland, wins the North, and we'll go from there. So not much more to add to that. So we move on now to the other side of the ledger for a little bit. Couple of games have been cross-flexed over to Fox. These were games that you would normally see on our side of the ledger, but Fox got them this time around because of the new deals, obviously. So first up, we have an AFC South divisional matchup. We have the Jacksonville Jaguars squaring off against the Indianapolis Colts, Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. And on the call for Fox, it will be Joe Davis, Greg Olson, and Pam Oliver. Jacksonville winning the first meeting. MF and I had this game back on the 7th of this month. Jacksonville smashed Indianapolis 36-19 in Jacksonville. So spread favors Jacksonville. Jacksonville opening up as a 6-point favorite. And the series history with the Jags and the Colts. It was, of course, Jacksonville winning that first meeting. So Indianapolis still leads the series. It's now 28-21 after Jacksonville's win. Last year in Indianapolis beat Jacksonville at home in overtime, 26-23. Jacksonville's last win in Indy was 2023. Final score was 31-21. So not much more. I believe this goes to Michael Bullock. So Michael Bullock, started with you here. Jacksonville, Indianapolis on Fox. Indianapolis must win for them to try to keep their slim playoff hopes alive with Phillip Rivers. Whereas Jacksonville, they control their own destiny when it comes to the AFC South.
Yeah, they control their destiny when it comes to the South, and yeah, it's not looking good for the Colts. And after such a hot start for the Colts this season, they've started to fade away big time, and unfortunately, I see that continuing because, I mean, especially after what Jacksonville did last week to the Denver Broncos. I mean, that was an impressive win for that team, and here's another team that you probably don't want to face come playoff time with the way this Jacksonville team is playing, especially under first-year coach Liam Cohen. So I'm going with the Jacksonville Jaguars to win this. So it's yours, Florio.
Yes, sir. Just bear with me for a second here. I know I have it. All right. Colts quarterback Phillip Rivers' return is a fun story, but stopping running back Jonathan Taylor is likely the key to winning in Indianapolis, where the Jaguars have only won twice in their last 11 trips. Taylor has run for 546 yards and 4 touchdowns, averaging 6.4 yards a carry in 3 home games against Jacksonville. The Colts are undefeated in those games. The Jaguars' top-ranked run defense limited Taylor earlier this month to 74 yards in a 36-19 win and might need a repeat. These teams met just 3 weeks ago with first place in the AFC South on the line. Now they square off in a game that could end the Colts' ever so faint playoff hopes and propel the Jaguars toward the division title. The trajectory of these division rivals has shifted significantly over the course of this season, with the Jaguars on a 6-game winning streak and the Colts dropping their last 5. For injury-plagued Indianapolis, the question is whether it can avoid a 7-game losing streak to end the season, which would presumably put organizational changes on the table, injuries or not. Jaguars wide receiver Parker Washington's career-high 145 receiving yards last week was the most in a game by a Jacksonville player since Evan Engram had 162 in Week 14 of 2022. And what is at stake? Simple. Colts could be eliminated from playoff contention with a loss or a Houston win at Los Angeles tomorrow. There was another wild scenario. Again, that would have involved Kansas City, but they did not win. That wild scenario would be Kansas City, Baltimore, Tampa Bay, San Francisco, and the LA Rams all winning. The Jaguars can clinch the AFC South with a win and a Houston loss at the Chargers tomorrow. The FPI gives this one to Jacksonville, 60% going with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I am going to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars to win this game. And based on what I saw last week, I could see this being another high-scoring shootout here. I'm going to go 34-28. Jacksonville wins because Indy pushed San Fran to the limits before the Niners eventually pulled away on Monday. And Jacksonville going into Denver and beating up on the Broncos. So what does that tell you? So 34-28, give me Jacksonville over Indy. I wouldn't be surprised if Phillip Rivers has another big game because he's been playing very well since he came out of retirement. So he's still got it. So we'll see what happens. But Jacksonville wins 34-28, MF. I mean, Indianapolis. I mean, we saw these two teams a few weeks ago. First place was on the line in the South. And since that game, it's been all Jacksonville. Jacksonville on the rise, Indy on the decline. Indy was 7-1, looking like an early favorite to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. But not anymore. In Jacksonville, after going into beating Denver, I think it's high time we put some respect on their name.
Yeah, and there is an outside shot for them to get the 1 seed, but they're gonna need a lot of chaos. They're gonna need New England to lose a couple of games. I think they need New England to lose the final 2 games, and then they're also gonna need Denver to lose the final 2 games, and then they gotta win out. They have an outside shot at the 1, but I don't think they're worried about that. I think they just want to worry about getting the division done, wrapping it up, and I think they will do that on Sunday. Give me the Jacksonville Jaguars to clinch the AFC South division with the win here. So, Florida, back to you.
All righty. And we move on now to the next game. And this one's over on Fox as well. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers squaring off against MF's Miami Dolphins. Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Kenny Albert, Jonathan Vilma, Megan O'Leary will be on the call for Fox. Tampa Bay opening up as a 6-point favorite. And the series history when it comes to the Dolphins and the Bucs, it favors Tampa Bay 7-5. And Tampa Bay has also won the last 3 meetings in a row against Miami, including the last one in Miami, 2017. Tampa Bay winning that one 30-20. The Dolphins have not beaten the Buccaneers at home and overall since 2009. That was a 25-23 final. So on to the Bucs and the Dolphins. The stakes couldn't be higher for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who had one of the hottest starts in the league through the first half of the season at 6-2, but have dropped 6 of their last 7. Those losses include 3 straight to divisional opponents in the last 3 weeks. Coach Todd Bowles said, "We understand we control our own destiny, but our biggest enemy right now is us." Quarterback Quinn Ewers gets his second start after Dolphins coach Mike McDaniel said the rookie did as much, if not more, than reasonably expected last week. Don't get it confused. He's playing because McDaniel believes he gives Miami the best chance to win. This isn't just about development with the playoffs out of the picture. As McDaniel said this week, I don't play Monopoly with people's careers. When I say I think someone gives the best chance to win, I mean it out of integrity. Dolphins running back Devon Achane leads the NFL with 5.8 rushing yards a game, or rushing yards per attempt this season. The Bucs could join the Dolphins in being eliminated from playoff contention with a loss and a Carolina win against Seattle. Solid FPI for Tampa Bay, 69%, going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And sorry, MF, I got to go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win this one as well. 27-23, I got to give a slight edge to Tampa. I think this might be the best chance for Tampa Bay to snap out of that funk. So we'll see what happens. But 27-23, I'm going with Tampa Bay to win. So not much more. MF, Tampa Bay must win for them if they want to have any chance of not only winning the South, but making the playoffs altogether. Whereas Miami, second start with Quinn Ewers. How's it look?
I don't think it's going to be much of a game here. I think Tampa is just way too motivated than anything else. Look, you kind of saw a little bit of what Miami did against Cincinnati, and it was not much. So, I mean, it's kind of more of a draft thing than anything else. So expect Miami to probably lose this game. So yeah, I'm with you, Anthony. I got Tampa Bay winning with this one as well, and this is probably going to be a pretty. I'm not going to say easy, but it is going to be somewhat of a pretty standard victory here. So nothing more to say. Bullock is yours.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bucs as well. And like you said, I mean, yeah, it's not gonna be. Because Tampa's fuming after the way they lost that game to the Carolina Panthers, and they don't want a repeat of that, and I think they're gonna make an example of it out of the Miami Dolphins. So I'm going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So let's move on, Florio.
All right, well, we go from MF's team to Michael Bullock's team, and are they in prime position? Michael Bullock's New England Patriots squaring off against the New York Jets, MetLife Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey, in the Meadowlands. This game, believe it or not, also on Fox. Adam Amin, Drew Brees, and Christina Pink, they will have the call. And I know Bullock's going to love the sound of this. New England opening up as a 13.5-point favorite. They met earlier this year. They met last month on November 13th on a Thursday night game in Foxborough. New England won that game 27-14. So it adds to New England's regular season series lead over the Jets. New England now leads the series 74-55 with a tie. But here's the big but here. Last year in New York, the Jets beat the Patriots. They don't only beat them, they smashed them 24-3. Matter of fact, the Jets beat the Patriots 24-3 last year, snapping a long home losing streak to the Patriots. Patriots' last win in New York was 2023, 15-10, the final. So there's not much more to add. I believe MF starts this one off. So MF, we got the Patriots and the Jets, New England, 13.5-point favorites. And the theme of the night, teams controlling their own destiny. New England controls their own destiny for the AFC East and possibly the 1 seed.
Yeah, they're gonna need somebody to mess up towards the end. They're gonna need Denver to lose their last game against the Chargers, which is very possible. You never know. And then New England just has got to win out. I think New England's gonna get at least one of the part. I don't think with everything on the line, I just don't think Denver's gonna give up that 1 seed. I just don't see it. I think New England will be the AFC Eastern Division champions. I think they'll get the 2 at least. But give me New England to win this game against the Jets. The Jets is just a complete and utter mess. The Patriots are clicking on all cylinders now, especially where I thought they were going to lose to the Ravens, and they won. So that pretty much tells you everything you need to know from here on in. So there's nothing more to say. Yeah, give me New England. Give me New England to win. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Chance to finish undefeated on the road, Bullock.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, and that's the thing that's so different about this Patriots team compared to the ones that we've seen the last 2 years. I mean, if we had the Patriots from the last 2 years down 11, they probably would lose that game easily, but this Patriots team is so different. I mean, under the leadership of Mike Vrabel, Drake May is he's playing at an MVP level. You got other guys contributing. I mean, this just feels like a different team this year. I mean, and I couldn't be more proud of what this team has accomplished. And like you said, they control their destiny when it comes to that AFC East. All they need to do is win and have the Bills lose to the Philadelphia Eagles, which is a possibility, but you never know. So all the Patriots just got to do, they just got to do their part and beat the Jets. What happens afterwards? Who knows? I mean, but yeah, this unbelievable season that, I mean, which nobody could have predicted, and I do expect this to continue. So now, whether they get the number 1 seed, like you said, the Patriots, for them to get the number 1 seed, they need to win the final 2 games and have Denver lose to the Chargers, which is a possibility as well. So we'll see what happens. But for right now, this unbelievable run, it's I really enjoyed it, and I do expect it to continue. So give me the Patriots to beat the Jets. So it's yours, Florio.
Absolutely. And some even better news for you, Bullock. Patriots defensive tackle Milton Williams practiced for the first time this week since being placed on IR 4 weeks ago. He hopes to be ready Sunday, which would bring much needed help to a position group that could be without Kairos Tonga with a foot and Joshua Farmer with a hamstring. Williams said earlier in the week, "I'm feeling good. Just have to see how it responds. If all goes well, it will be a good thing for the Patriots." Despite profound struggles, undrafted rookie quarterback Brady Cook will remain the starter for the Jets. In 11 quarters of playing time, he has 6 interceptions, 3 fumbles, 1 lost. He's been sacked 17 times and only 2 touchdown drives. Coach Aaron Glenn has acknowledged that Cook holds on to the ball too long, but added, "All of our hands are bloody." By that, he means everyone, players and coaches, has to do a better job of helping Cook, whose inexperience is glaring. With another road win Sunday at the Jets, the Patriots' Drake May would become the only starting quarterback under 24 years old to win 8 road games in a season since starts were first tracked in 1950. And as we all know, we know what's at stake here. The Jets, of course, already eliminated from playoff contention. Patriots can clinch the AFC East with a win over the Jets and a Buffalo loss at home to Philadelphia. Both possibilities. Overwhelming FPI here, 71% going with the New England Patriots. I'm going with the New England Patriots as well. And Bullock, I'm going to make you even happier. I'm going to go as far as to call this my lock of the week. This is the lock of the week right here. 35-10. Give me the Patriots all over the Jets. Not even close. So with that being said, we have one early game left. And this is our number 6 game of the week on our side of the ledger. We have the New Orleans Saints squaring off against the Tennessee Titans from Nissan Stadium in Nashville. Andrew Catalan, Charles Davis, Jason McCourty, alongside AJ Ross for CBS. And spread favors New Orleans by 2.5. Tennessee leads the all-time series 9-7 with a tie. Last meeting was 2 years ago in New Orleans. New Orleans winning 16-15. Last meeting in Nashville was 2021. Tennessee won it 23-21. Saints' last win in Nashville was 2019. 38-28 was the final there. So, Michael Bullock, started with you here. Our final early game of the week, New Orleans and Tennessee, number 6 on our side of the ledger. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I like the what I've seen out of Show as the starter. I mean, the Saints going on a little bit of a mini run here to basically close out the season and maybe give them something going into next season. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with the New Orleans Saints to win this one. So it's yours, Florio.
New Orleans is trying to go for its 4th straight win with a roster that continues to get depleted by injuries. Coach Kellen Moore has already ruled out tight end Foster Moreau with an ankle and defensive tackle Brian Breesy with a knee. The status of running back Alvin Kamara remains up in the air as he has missed 4 games with a knee injury. Rookie running back Devin Neal with a hamstring was put on IR last week, which paved the way for Taysom Hill to have a big game in the home finale. Titans quarterback Cam Ward is riding a 3-game streak with multiple touchdown passes. He has 6 touchdown passes over his last 3 games after posting 7 over the first 12. And it's no coincidence that Tennessee is 2-1 over this recent stretch. And the team got help from the run game as well. It was made very easy, Ward said, of the run game's impact on him as a passer. Tony Pollard, the O-line, the run game. That's why we're trending upwards. We've just got to continue to play complementary football, help the defense out, and continue to be balanced on offense. Pollard posted 100-yard rushing games in each of the last 3 weeks. Saints quarterback Tyler Show has completed at least 60% of his passes in each of his first 7 career starts. If he can make it 8, he will tie Cincinnati's Joe Burrow for the 3rd longest such streak to start a career since at least 1950, when quarterback starts were first tracked. And last but not least, both teams, of course, already eliminated from playoff contention. FPI gives it to New Orleans, 56% going with New Orleans. I'm going to go with New Orleans to win as well. I'm going to go 26-16. Okay, I'm going to go 26-16. New Orleans defeats Tennessee. Not much more to say. So, MF, New Orleans and Tennessee, quick thought, and then we'll get into only 2 late games, believe it or not.
Yeah, I apologize in advance. I was using my cell phone as for the thing. It was just about to die, so I went onto my laptop to jump ship. That's why I kind of briefly stepped away. Give me the New Orleans Saints. I listened to everything you guys were saying prior, so yes, I got the Saints winning, and let's go to the late games.
And I can't believe, and I'm still, my mind is still boggled by this. We only have 2 guys. Just 2, 1 on each network. And we're going to start it off with the game that's going to kick it off at 4:05 on CBS. Oh boy. Gentlemen, this is not only the Zonk game of the week, this might be the Zonk game of the year. The New York Giants squaring off against the Las Vegas Raiders, Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, and I feel so bad for this guy. Kevin Harlan and Trent Green, along with Melanie Collins, they had the unenviable task of calling this game.
Oh, they're going to make this the game of the year. They're going to make this the game of the year. Because you know why. Anytime Kevin Harlan does a game, he takes it to a whole level that even though this game probably is going to stink, he's going to make it like an A-level game. Even though this may be the Zonk game of the year and the Zonk game of the thing, he is going to try to make this the most entertaining game of the week. I rest assure you that. So if there was ever a game which is the Zonk game of the year, it's perfect. It's Harlan. Because Harlan can make anything and make it a 5-star performance. So yeah, he's getting chicken crap on this one, but he's probably gonna make this sucker into chicken parmesan. That's all I'm just saying. But yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt, Anthony.
No. Absolutely not. That's fine. Chicken parm, it tastes so good. Yes, it does.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I love chicken parm. Big fan.
Yes, sir.
Anyway,
All right. New York Giants, Las Vegas Raiders, 4:05 on CBS. Kevin Harlan, Trent Green, Melanie Collins. They'll be at Allegiant Stadium for this one. It is the Giants. Giants opening up as 2.5-point favorites. Series history favors the Raiders 9-6. They last met in Vegas 2 years ago, and the Raiders smashed the Giants 30-6. The Giants have not won at the Raiders since 2005 when they won in Oakland 30-21. And if I recall, I think that's the game where Tiki Barber absolutely went off on them, if I remember correctly.
yeah, I think that was the game he went over 200 yards for the game,
Yes,
for the
that's
entire
right.
game, if I remember correctly. Yes.
Yep. All right. So here we go, boys. And I have the unenviable task of starting off on it. Lucky me. This game might be looked at as the fight for the number 1 draft pick, but the Giants are more interested in snapping a 9-game losing streak. Another loss ties the franchise record of 10 straight losses, which was set last season. Wide receiver Wan'Dale Robinson said, "I really don't think we talk about that part too much about the draft positioning and wanting a certain pick or anything like that. I think we just want to go out there and play our best football and go out there and get a win." Does Raiders coach Pete Carroll care if a win weakens the team's chances of claiming the number 1 pick? Of course not. Las Vegas made strides offensively in last week's loss at Houston. Carroll wants to build on that performance to snap the Raiders' own 9-game skid. Carroll said, I'm not really that concerned about any of that, and I don't think you want me to be. We're going to go play and play the best we can play and see what happens. Raiders quarterback Geno Smith's 15 interceptions this season is tied for the most in the NFL with Miami's Tua Tagovailoa. And believe it or not, there is something at stake here. ESPN Analytics gives the Giants a 61% chance to win in Week 17, which would put the Raiders in a prime position to earn the top pick in April's draft. Entering Week 16, Las Vegas had a 39% chance to earn the number 1 pick. The FPI, though, only gives the Giants a 53% chance to win. I know the Giants are the favorites, but after what I saw from the Raiders last week in Houston, nearly going into Houston and pulling what would have been the biggest upset of the season by a mile, I'm actually going to go with Vegas to win this one. I'm going to say 24-20. Give me Vegas to beat the Giants, but would I be surprised if the Giants won? No. So, not much more to say. MF, Zonk game of the week, Zonk game of the year, as we said. Number 1 draft pick potentially on the line.
Knowing my friend Carter, and yes, he's one of my Discord guys, he wants the Raiders to lose this game. Like, Anthony, what you just said, he's probably going to play plausible deniability. He didn't hear what you just said. That went in one ear and out the other. He does not want to hear that right now. So, because he wants that number 1 overall pick, because we all know who it's going to be. Fernando Mendoza, quarterback, Indiana. That is the reason why they want the number 1 overall pick. Because they believe that will be the guy that is going to jumpstart the Raiders' financial chances and then maybe their desire for the Super Bowl. And we know that the Raider is a complete and utter mess. The Giants don't need a quarterback. They have a quarterback, Jackson Dart. Dart is without a doubt a godsend to New York. He became the man in New York overnight. Now, what they might need is a running back. And there is one out there that I think would be a great fit for New York if they get the number 1 overall. Or do they go O-line to protect Jackson Dart? Which, hey, smart idea. You might want to protect him. He does have concussion issues. I think he's gotten like 2 or 3 already. He ended up with a concussion not too long ago. You don't want to do that because then we see because he might be the next Tua Tagovailoa. And I'm not meaning that in a bad sense, but if you know, you know. So, with everything on the line, with the number 1 pick, I disagree with you, Anthony. I'm going with the New York Football Giants. I kind of feel like at home, they're going to try to put everything together. And on top of that, Max Crosby got sent home. He is not playing the final 2 games of the season. That's how much the Raiders want the #1 overall pick. They sent their best defensive player home. New York wins. Michael Bullock, it is yours.
I might have to retract my pick then.
Yeah,
I might have to go with the Giants now.
Yeah, I got to go with the Giants as well. I mean, and like you said, what does sending Max Crosby home tell you? It's like they want
the #1 pick.
They want the #1 overall pick.
Yes,
they want Fernando Mendoza.
I actually can. When I heard you say that you were going to go with the Raiders to win, Anthony, I kind of was a little perplexed. I was like, does he know what about
the Max Crosby thing? I'm going to be honest with you. That's news to me. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This crossed the wires about a few hours ago. Like this, I think, and I get it. And you know what? I think you were pretty much preoccupied because you were watching SmackDown tonight. This was before SmackDown, Anthony. This crossed the wires around, I want to say, about 7 o'clock. It's out there. Like the whole world knew about it. Yeah, the Raiders sent the Raiders announced that they were going to bench Max Crosby, that they were going to shut him down just for the fact that they were going to that they had the desire to try to win the #1 overall pick. And then Crosby basically took his stuff and has gone home. He's left the Raiders facility and it looks like he is done for the season. He has gone home, is what I've been told.
Well, then I'm going to have to retract my pick then. I'm actually going to retract my pick. It's very rare I do this, but I'm going to go with the Giants now. 24-20. Well, go ahead.
So after everything that was said there, I got to go with the Giants as well. So nothing more to say. So let's think we're on to the 425 match. Only one, and it's a big one.
Yeah, huge to say the very least. The other game at 420 is the other late game, 425 on Fox. This is actually the #2 game of the week on the NFC side of the ledger. There's actually one game that's bigger than this, believe it or not. Any other week, this would have been the game of the week. But, man, how I wish we could have had this cross-flexed over to our side. Man, we would have had fun with this. Here it is. The 425 game on Fox, America's game of the week, and rightfully so. And you never know. This could be a possible Super Bowl preview. You never know. They're both that good. The Philadelphia Eagles squaring off against my team, the Buffalo Bills, Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park, New York on Fox. Kevin Burkhardt, Tom Brady, Aaron Andrews, Tom Rinaldi. They have the call. Buffalo opening up as a 1.5-point favorite, but Philadelphia leads the series 9-6, and Philadelphia has also won the last 3 meetings in a row. The last one, we all remember. Thanksgiving weekend 2023, the 3 of us and our dear friend Brian Keenan, we gathered at Stevie D's for a guys' night, and we saw this game play out. What a game this was. Philadelphia won it in Philadelphia, 37-34 in overtime. Last meeting in Buffalo was 2019. Philadelphia won that one as well, 31-13. Buffalo last beat Philadelphia overall and at home in 2011. 31-24 was the final in that one. I believe, MF, you get to start this one off. Possible Super Bowl preview here. Philadelphia, they've already won the NFC East.
Yep.
Buffalo, they're in the playoffs. They got in because of Indy losing to San Fran on Monday night. They're in 7th year in a row. I know the division and the #1 seed realistically are not in play, but you never know. They could still be there. Philly and Buffalo,
they would need to win out. They would have to win out. They would need New England to trip up, and I do believe they would need Denver to trip up as well. Denver would have to lose their final game. I think Denver has to lose their final game. New England would have to lose the final 2 games. They would have to lose to the Jets, and they would have to lose to the Miami Dolphins in order to capture not only the AFC Eastern Division title, but then they would have to they would be able to have a shot at the number 1 seed. And I think they need Jacksonville to lose as well, because I think for some odd reason, I think Jacksonville would be ahead of Buffalo. I think there's a tiebreaker somewhere where I think Jacksonville would actually beat Buffalo, so they would get the 1. So they would need. I think they need Jacksonville to lose. I think one of the final 2 games, or they might have to have them lose both as well. I believe. I don't know, but I do know Buffalo has a shot, but it's an outside chance. It's just they would need a lot of things to go their way in order to win the division. I mean, to win it all and get the 1. So yeah, but I will say this: with everything on the line, I have a little more faith in Josh Allen than I do with the Philadelphia Eagles. I kind of feel like Philly backed their way into the division title this year. They are a shell of what they were a year ago. They are not the same Super Bowl championship caliber team, and we've been seeing the cracks throughout the year. We've seen a lot of drama throughout the year. So for me, I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills to win it at Highmark and to really kind of solidify themselves as that team that you don't want to play in the playoffs. Because, Buffalo being on the road, you never know with Buffalo. Buffalo can be like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Florio knows because he's been with Buffalo this entire year, and he knows the ebb and flows and the roller coaster that this team has put Florio through more than one occasion. So
way more than one occasion.
Way more than one.
Including last week. That had no business being as close as it was. No business.
But it was. It did. It did.
So we're at Highmark.
I have
a little confidence, but go ahead.
Yeah. So that's why I was gonna say I got Buffalo winning this game. It's gonna be tight. It's gonna be close because the Eagles are they're gonna be a thorn. They are gonna be a thorn, and weather-wise, there's no advantage either way. Buffalo loves the cold. Philly loves the cold. There's really not much here. So weather-wise, it's a complete wash. Both teams are acclimate in cold weather. They are very used to this. If it gets cold, if it starts snowing, Philly is used to this. So is Buffalo. There's neither team is going to be scared of the bad weather. What I will say is what makes Buffalo a sexier pick for this game, the running game. For some odd reason, Philadelphia has gotten away from Saquon Barkley. And you know what Buffalo's ammo? Let Cook eat. You got to give the ball to James Cook. You got to let him run. You got to give him that kind of confidence in a game like this. You give him that confidence, you're gonna be fine, and you're gonna be in a good position. If you're Philly, you can just do what you got to do. Utilize the ball, move it downfield, and if you need to, Buffalo, can you stop the tush push? That is the key to this game because you know how that goes. If it's a 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, short yardage, down near the end zone, and you need a couple of yards, you know it's coming. You know it's coming. You know it's coming, Buffalo. Can you stop it? That's the key. I think Buffalo will not have to do that because I think they'll handle their business and they will win this game. Nothing more to say, Michael Bullock. It is all yours.
Yeah, Buffalo cannot play the way they did last week because, like you even said, Florio, Buffalo had no business winning that game with the way they played. I mean, they were lucky to escape Cleveland with that win because if they play like that against this Philadelphia Eagles team, they ain't no way they're gonna win this one. So, I mean, I got Philip. I mean, no, I don't have Philip. I got Buffalo winning this one, but I'm not. To me, I'm not at all confident with this one because Philadelphia could all of a sudden make a statement and be like, you know what? People want to say that we're not that Super Bowl championship team that we were a year ago. This could be a chance for them to make a statement. So I'm gonna go with Buffalo, but Florio, I'm not at all confident with this pick.
I completely understand. And believe it or not, guys, it's not going to be as cold as you think in Buffalo or in Orchard Park on Sunday. The weather forecast is calling for rain and temperatures in the 40s. So it's going to be mild in Buffalo, believe it or not. It's going to be like 40, 41 at kickoff, and it's going to rain. So we'll see how that plays out. But anyways, this matchup features two of the NFL's most prolific rushing quarterbacks in Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen. Hurts has been more selective with his feet this season and is on pace for career lows for rushing attempts and yards since taking over as the full-time starter in 2021. He has stepped it up of late, rushing 14 times for 79 yards over the last 2 games. Expect that trend to continue as the stakes rise around playoff time. Bills running back James Cook has the lead in the battle for the rushing title, 1,532 yards over the Colts' Jonathan Taylor, who has 1,489 yards. And continuing his success on the ground could go a long way against the defending Super Bowl champions. The Eagles have allowed 123.5 rushing yards a game, which is 21st, and given up first downs on almost 28% of rushes, which is 27th. Bills coach Sean McDermott said James Cook has had some big games last year, but the look in his eye each week, the intensity that he shows up with has really been influential on our whole football team. Guys see that. That's kind of a little bit unique for a running back position player to have that type of impact on the whole team. In 2023's Week 12 battle between these two teams in Philadelphia, Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen both finished with multiple passing touchdowns and multiple rushing touchdowns, marking the first game in NFL history in which opposing players accomplished that feat, according to the Elias Sports Bureau. What's at stake? Well, the Eagles. They've already clinched the playoff berth and the NFC East. If the Bills lose and the Patriots win, they will be out of contention for their 6th straight AFC East title. But they will have still clinched the playoff berth because of the Indianapolis Colts loss to San Francisco last Monday night. We got a pick'em game here, guys. Buffalo, FPI, 50.3% going with Buffalo. And I am going to go with the Buffalo Bills to win this game as well, mainly because the game is in Buffalo. And they've been very good at Buffalo over the last couple of years or so. And, this year, with the exception of the Patriots game, there's been a lot of high mark magic this year. And I got a good feeling that we're going to get a little bit more Highmark magic with these final 2 games at Highmark Stadium, which could be the final 2, unless they, God forbid, somehow get a home game in the playoffs. You never know. But I'm going to go with Buffalo to win. And a score that has stood out to me, because I've seen these commercials where they play out a Philadelphia-Buffalo game, and they had Buffalo winning on a late touchdown, and I could see it. I'm going to say Buffalo does win with a late touchdown, 30-27. I got Buffalo winning 30-27. Give me Buffalo to defeat Philadelphia. But would I be surprised if Philly wins this? No, I certainly would not. But I just got this feeling with the Highmark magic. I got a feeling there's some more Highmark magic in the air. So I'm going with Buffalo, 30-27. Against Philly. Won't be easy. We go now to Sunday Night Football on NBC, and this, for all intents and purposes, may be the game of the week, not just on the NFC side, but overall as well. Huge game, major implications in the NFC. Sunday Night Football on NBC at 8:20. It's the Chicago Bears squaring off against the San Francisco 49ers from the home of Super Bowl 60, Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth, Melissa Stark. And you want to know how close this is, guys? The series history, regular season-wise, it is tied 33-33 with a tie. They met last year in San Francisco. San Francisco smashed Chicago 38-13. Chicago has not won in San Francisco since 2018, and that was a 14-9 final. So, and I did forget, San Francisco opening up as a 3-point favorite. So, I believe this one goes to Michael Bullock. So Bullock, NFC game of the week, maybe the game of the week. Major implications for both teams, Chicago and San Francisco on Sunday night. Who you got?
Yeah, this is one that could go either way. I mean, both teams are just that good. I mean, Chicago, like another surprise team, is really. They're just playing really well right now, but they are going into San Fran and where they play well as well. So, this is a tough one. This is a game, guys, that could go either way. So now, if this game was at Soldier Field, I would go with the Chicago Bears, but it's in San Fran. So I'm going to go with the 49ers to win this, but I would not at all be surprised that Chicago goes in there and steals one in San Fran. So, but I'm going to go with the 49ers. And again, like the other game, Florio, I'm not confident with this pick.
Of course. You said it. It could go either way. The Bears clinched their spot in the playoffs after beating the Packers last Saturday night and seeing the Lions lose to Pittsburgh last Sunday. That's step number one for Coach Ben Johnson, who long preached the need to get to 11 wins to get into the playoffs. The Bears can wrap up the NFC North on Sunday night and are still in play for the number one seed in the NFC. All it takes is wins over both San Francisco and Detroit, coupled with Seattle losing one of its remaining two games, either at Carolina or at home against San Francisco next week. Ben Johnson said there's a million things that we have to continue to work on, and we're still playing meaningful football right here and right now. San Francisco has won 5 straight games by double digits and clinched the playoff spot, but Chicago will be one of its toughest tests since both teams are fighting for the number one seed. What's more, this game offers a good test of where both teams stack up in the wide-open NFC. 49er quarterback Brock Purdy said the challenge is just winning one game at a time and try to be the best that we can going into the playoffs. We know what's at stake with the first seed and all that, but we can't get our minds wrapped around just that, so we have to be locked in. The Bears have 6 wins after trailing in the final 2 minutes of the fourth quarter this season, the most by any team in the season since the 1970 merger. Bears can clinch the NFC North with either a win or a Green Bay loss to Baltimore tomorrow night. The 49ers have clinched a playoff berth. The FPI gives it to San Francisco, 61% going with the 49ers. And I'm going to go with the San Francisco 49ers to win this game as well. And I'm going to give you a wild and crazy score on this one. I'm going to go 40-30. San Francisco defeats Chicago, mainly because the game is in San Francisco. If it was in Chicago, I go with Chicago as well, like Bullock said. But the Niners, despite all those injuries that plagued them earlier in the season, boy, oh boy, have they been. You want to talk about a major improvement. Last year was an absolute dud of a year. Boy, have they bounced back. And I don't see it stopping here. If Chicago were to win, would I be surprised? Certainly not. They are that good. Ask the Green Bay Packers last Saturday night, and they'll tell you firsthand how good this team is. 40-30, San Fran wins. MF, like I said, San Fran on a roll right now. Chicago on a roll, especially after that miracle comeback against Green Bay last Saturday night. Number 1 seed possibly on the line. Major implications on both sides.
No doubt about it. This is going to be a hell of a game, to say the very least. And give me the 49ers to win. Brock Purdy had one of the best performances we've seen in a long time. 5 touchdowns. He did throw an interception, which was an ill-advised pass. But I will say this, Brock looked amazing. He looked like the Brock Purdy that took the 49ers to the Super Bowl. That's a scary proposition, because if he's all the way back, boys, if Brock Purdy's all the way back and we get that Brock back, there's a chance the Niners could make a run here. No doubt. So give me San Fran to win it, Anthony. It's
1 game left, gentlemen, and that's Monday Night Football. On ESPN, the final true and pure Monday Night Football game of the season, because as you know, in Week 18, there is no Monday Night Football game. They do, however, do 2 games on a Saturday. So that's all there is to say on that. So this is the last true Monday Night Football game of the season already, which I can't believe it is. But 8:15 on ESPN, it will be the Los Angeles Rams squaring off against the Atlanta Falcons from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, Lisa Salters, and Laura Rutledge. Los Angeles Rams opening up as an 8-point favorite. Series history favors the Rams 49-28 with 2 ties. Rams have won the last 2 meetings in a row, including a 31-27 win in Los Angeles in their last meeting in 22. Last meeting in Atlanta, it was all Rams, 37-10 in 2019. Falcons last beat the Rams at home in Atlanta in 2013, 31-24 at the old Georgia Dome. So, final game of the night, boys. Here we go. Rams right guard Kevin Dotson is doubtful to play Monday night, Coach Sean McVay said. Dotson left the Rams lost at Seattle with an ankle injury and was in a walking boot and on crutches after the game. McVay said it will be hard for him to make it this week. Dotson ranks 25th out of 62 qualifying guards in run block win rate at 71%. Falcons coach Raheem Morris once had to go head-to-head with Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford every day in practice, so he knows what's in store for Atlanta. Morris referred to Stafford as Weapon X this week and said Stafford is probably the MVP. The Falcons have to be wary because though they are second in the league in sacks with 50, their highest total since 1997, Stafford has been sacked the 9th fewest times among qualified quarterbacks, only 19 times. Assuming he starts on Monday night, Falcons offensive tackle Jake Matthews would tie the 4th longest streak for consecutive starts by an offensive lineman since the 1970 merger, according to Elias. Falcons already eliminated from playoff contention, and the Rams already have clinched the playoff berth. A very high FPI for the Rams, 72%, going with the Los Angeles Rams. I'm going with the Los Angeles Rams to win this one as well. Final scorer, 34-24. Give me the Rams over Atlanta on Monday night. MF, Rams in Atlanta, the final true Monday Night Football game this season. MF, are you there?
sorry about that. So Monday night game.
It's the Rams in Atlanta, the final true Monday Night Football game this season.
I'm gonna go with the Los Angeles Rams. Look, Atlanta, you don't know what you're gonna get. I think the Rams are clicking on all cylinders. They're also they're still trying to fight for the division title. They're on the outside looking in. They're gonna need some help. They actually still have a shot at the 1 seed as well for the NFC. So give me the Rams to win this one. Nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, you're up.
I'm gonna go with the LA Rams to win this one as well. So with that being said, let's call it a night for you.
All right, MF, come on in and let's talk about the future content we got coming up here.
Well, all right. It's going to get a little hairy, guys. So just bear with us on a little bit. Tomorrow night, traditional We will have a very special edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk. It's traditional show, SmackDown Live. I don't think TNA did anything special, Anthony. So I think we're just going to be focused on SmackDown only. Is that correct?
TNA, I know, had some sort of Christmas thing, but I think it was more of a special than anything else. They did have a bonus match, but that was it.
Well, I'm just gonna bypass it, go right into the SmackDown anyway. So SmackDown, because SmackDown was a whole show and everything else. So SmackDown, we'll definitely get into that. Then on, you know what? I was gonna say, okay. Then Monday night, special edition, as we're gonna start doing our year-end reviews. So we're gonna do Talking Wrestling TXN year-end review on. Now, I was going to say doing it on Monday night, but I'm going to do it on Sunday night. So, Sunday night at 10 o'clock, at 10:30, we're going to do the TXN, Talking Wrestling TXN year in review. Monday night, whenever Raw goes off the air, which I think is like 10:30, 11, I don't know, probably 10:30. We will do the TXN Sports World year-in review. Tuesday will be a traditional episode of Ridiculously Raw. And then I don't think we have anything else remaining for the remainder of the year. However, we are going to try to add in on that Tuesday episode. We will add in the quarterfinals for the college football playoff, because obviously New Year's Eve and New Year's Day are the quarterfinal matchups. So we're going to try to set it up then. And I don't believe we will have any other episodes until 2026. Huh?
NFL Friday next week.
Yeah. NFL Friday will be back on Friday per the usual.
11 p.m. start time, because remember, SmackDown's 3 hours next week.
Yes, it is. So
we'll be at 11.
So we're going to start at 11. And then obviously we will do the Cerebral Smack Talk traditional episode 1 week from 1 week on Saturday. And that will be it, Anthony. So there you go.
Okay, so you want to do the college football playoff quarterfinals on with Raw and NXT on Tuesday?
Yes.
Okay, just want to be 100% sure on that. Okay, so you heard it. 10:30 tomorrow night, or is it 10? What time is it tomorrow?
10 o'clock tomorrow.
10 p.m. tomorrow night. It will be the Cerebral Smack Talk, all about Friday Night SmackDown on MF's channel, BraceFan 95. And then Sunday night at 10:30, our Talking Wrestling TXN year in review special, as we will talk about our standout moments in professional wrestling, as well as our year-end awards. And then Monday night, a rare Monday night show, which will be our TXN Sports World year in review show on Monday night, where we will talk about all of our standout moments in the world of sports. And that's pretty much it on Monday. And then Tuesday, it will be Ridiculously Raw, as we will talk about the final Monday Night Raw and NXT of 2025 and preview the college football playoff quarterfinal matchups. And then we'll take off Wednesday and Thursday for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, respectively. And then 1 week from tonight will be the regular season finale of TXN Sports World NFL Friday, Week 18. Some of the games that we'll get into next week, standout games, the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears. What could be the game of the week next week, the Los Angeles Chargers and the Denver Broncos. Perhaps and then from there, maybe the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers, Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers, and the Carolina Panthers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Remember, all divisional games next week. So, and then it's onward and upward to the playoffs. So that's it. So until tomorrow night for the Cerebral Smack Talk with MF over on his channel, BraceFan 95, this is Anthony Florio here for Michael Bullock, and in spirit, good old MF Michael Fletcher, and always and forever our First Lady, the one and only Dee Dee Woodson. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah. Throw it up Fortune 4 style. But for now, my friends, God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed Saturday. And until tomorrow night for the Cerebral Smack Talk you've been watching, the Week 17 edition of TXN Sports World NFL Friday right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube and StreamYard.com. For everybody who has been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio, so long, and bye, everybody, bye.